Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, beautiful people, on this beautiful day. Hope all is well. It's very early in the morning and I've just woken up and I've got a call in to do this vlog. So I'm just going to crack on and get into this. So I've just woke up and my soul basically has asked me to speak about a subject today which is very close to my heart and which I work on daily. So I'm going to speak about this. So what is the difference in life from living from your personality each day, your ego, or from living in your divinity, your God self, your divine self? What are the noticeable differences for Karen? So my noticeable differences are that when I'm in my God self, my divine self, I'm more inclined to practice being mindful with my words, how I listen, how I speak, how I present myself, how I handle any situations coming into my life throughout the day. So what I'm saying is, my daily routine is I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is give thanks. Now I want to share a little secret with you all today. Whether you're religious or not religious, whether you're an atheist or a believer, through my practices, through many years, I believe the most powerful thing we can all be doing in the morning, as soon as we wake up in the morning, is give thanks. Okay? You don't need to call on the Father's name. You don't need to call out God's name. But if you do have a faith, then by all means use the name which feels fitting for you and your faith. I personally have my own connection, just like everyone else in the world, with my impersonal God, which is the God of my understanding, which lives within thy heart, thy soul. So upon waking each morning, the first things I do when I open my eyes is say, thank you, Father. Thank you. I give thanks for my wonderful day. I give thanks that my ears are working, my eyes are working, my nose, my throat, my lungs, my heart, my legs, my arms, my hands. So I wake up and I give thanks for another beautiful day, another day to learn, another day to grow, another day to expand, another day to be multi-dimensional in this 3D world that we're living in. So let me come back to the first question. What is the difference for Karen for living in her ego personality or in her God and in self-divinity? Well, there's a massive difference for me. When I'm in my ego, my personality, I find that I'm much more easily frustrated. I can become quite complacent at times in my own journey with my own how can I put this? So I can become quite complacent in my own journey at times when in the ego personality self, because nothing seems really pressing. It doesn't have that sort of drive. It doesn't have that will. It doesn't have that push. You know, it can be quite sort of, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, do it later. You know, that sort of energy It carries that kind of energy. You know, I personally work daily on attuning myself like a fine instrument, you know, like a fine motor to a beautiful old classic car. That's how I see my inner workings. You know, I fine tune myself each day to not only be the best version of Karen, but to stay centered and aligned always to my divinity, to my God self. Because I have an overall understanding that when I am operating from my divinity, my God self, I am more loving, more giving, more sharing, caring, thoughtful. Antagonisms of life, and especially people, because there's a lot of people out there designed to piss you off, basically, you know, that will come on your path daily. And I look at them as agitators. And I see it as my daily task to overcome all agitators of any kind, whether this be friends, family, strangers on the street. You know, we've always got people in our lives that want to push our buttons daily, you know, want to try and piss you off. Not that they try to, but, you know, just agitators in life. I look at these people as my correction officers when I'm in my God self. Yeah, and I'll let you into this secret. It's beautiful. So when in my divinity and in my God self, I can look at anyone that comes on my path with however they're behaving. If it's agitating me slightly, I see them as my greatest teachers, you know, to overcome them, to be able to stay in my God self and see through their many veils of the personality. Because we all have many layers to us, many facets to this personality, this ego. And that's bye, darling. And that's what happens. You know, we get so layered down in this 3D dimensional world that we're living in, so conditioned. We're so conditioned, so programmed from the day we are born, that it becomes very dense, that we can't see the trees for the woods. We can't break through we can't break through our glass ceilings in life because we've got to go to work, we've got the kids, you know, life becomes really busy. And, you know, we're just walking around in our personality and our egos, you know, taking on all this residue from other people, taking on the crap. And sometimes we feel very agitated in our lives and frustrated because we're dealing with the personality. The personality is faulty. Okay, the personality is faulty a lot of the time. The ego will, that little voice in your head, tell you things about others, make up stories all the time, you know, which are just not true. It's just a representation of how you're feeling inward. And I believe that everyone that crosses our paths externally in life, and especially the agitators, are only there as a reflection of what's going on inwardly in our psyches, you know. So I look at these people and I look at these situations as, I look at them as correctional officers. They've come in my life to show me what I need work on myself. Okay, there's something in my psyche that needs filtering through, you know, and what that clearly shows me most of the time is that I've come off track. I'm not in my God self. I'm not in my divine self. Because when in one's divine self, I can look at all these agitators and, you know, these people in your life that cross your path at times, friends, family, strangers that just want to, piss you off, agitate you. I can deal with them much better. I stay in my divinity and I send them love. Okay, I stay in my divinity and send them love and smile. And this can be very frustrating for other people when they see that they cannot penetrate through your God self, okay? They cannot get through because you're so protected, because you're in your God self. You're living from your heart. And all you do is send them love. Send them love. And continue to see the God self in them through their many veils. So the difference for me, I'm going to talk more on this subject because this is a really big one for me. The difference for me is being in the personality is that we tend to take things personal. We don't see the whole picture sometimes of what's going on in our lives because we become so self-absorbed and so consumed in our own bubble of in the head. Okay, but when I'm in thy God self, when I'm in my divinity, all things are beautiful. Everything's beautiful. I walk down the road with love in my heart. Good morning, and I'm untouchable. So that's the difference for me. So all this vlog is around today is, look in your life where you're operating from the personality, the ego, or your divinity. Now, to operate from your divinity, as I said, it has nothing whatsoever to do with religion. My religion is within thy heart. My God is within thy heart. That's where my church is. So to be a religious person, to live a religious life, I believe the true art of religion is living in your divinity. I will speak more on this subject. I've got to go. We'll get into 12 minutes. Stay in your divinity today, guys. Send love to everyone, and especially to your agitators. Let them be your greatest teachers of mastering self-control and looking at them and offering them compassion. Because normally in life when people are agitating you or a bit nasty or, a bit two-faced, whatever it is, talking, there's loads of them out there. What it shows me is just that they're very unhappy people in their lives and that they're not coming from their divinity. They're still in their ego self. So send them love, send them compassion because they really do need it, okay? And love being the highest vibration conquers all. What a beautiful day and what a beautiful start to the day. Thy God self. Stay with it, okay? Practice being kind, being loving, being thoughtful, generous, giving, not to receive. Practice being authentic, guys. Nobody likes a bullshitter. God bless.